and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be going over all of my most anticipated reads for 2024. Before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe. It means so much to me when you subscribe. I just love it. And if you want to be notified when I upload, be sure to click the bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload. So one of my most anticipated reads is actually coming out today, and that is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies last year and I loved it. I loved it so much. It was one of the best books that I read last year. It was cozy, I was giggling, I was kicking my feet, I was squealing in delight at the romance between Wendell and Emily. And I am so excited for Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. So, spoilers for Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So in Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, we are back with Emily and Wendell, and they are back at Oxford. Emily is working on a new project. She is working on creating a map for the Otherlands, and we found out in the first book that Wendell is actually an exiled king, and they find themselves in trouble yet again because of Wendell. And in this book, Emily is also grappling with Wendell's proposal. She's trying to decide what to do, whether she wants to accept it or not. I cannot wait to read this book, and I am absolutely gonna go pick it up as soon as I get done recording this video today. My next book that I am super excited about this year, and that is A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faizal. I read We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal last year and I really enjoyed it, and this one seems really great. So in A Tempest of Tea, we're following Arthi, and she runs a tea house, and at night her tea house turns into an illegal blood house for vampires. But when her establishment is threatened, she is forced to get together a ragtag crew to infiltrate the vampire society in order to save her tea house. This book comes out on February 20th, and I am very excited to read it. The reviews for it are looking really good. People online are really excited about it, and I can't wait. Another one of my most anticipated books this year is one that I have actually already read, and that is An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. This comes out on February 13th, and I got an arc of this, and I just finished my reading of it this past weekend, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to have a copy of it for my shelves. An Education in Malice follows Laura and Camilla. They're at a school in Massachusetts, and they are both part of a literary college within the school, and they're both wildly obsessed with their professor, and yeah, it's another great book from S.T. Gibson, and I can't wait to get my hands on a physical copy. A couple other books. Both of these books are coming out on February 6th. There's several books that are coming out on February 6th, but for this video I shortened it. If you want to see a part 2 of this, because I have a whole list of books that I'm really excited for, please let me know. But two books that are coming out on February 6th. One is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I have never read anything by Ali Hazelwood before, just because it didn't feel like something I wanted to read. She writes STEM romances. But this one is a werewolf romance, and that is right up my alley. So in this book, we follow our character Misery, which is kind of an interesting name. She is the only daughter of a very high up vampire, and it falls to her to keep the tenuous alliance between the vampires and the werewolves held together, and in order to do that, she has to marry the werewolf alpha leader, whatever you want to call it. And I can't wait for this. I'm so excited for this book. And the next book that I'm really excited for that's coming out on February the 6th is A Vicious Game by Melissa Blair. This is the third book in the Halfling saga, and I cannot wait to read this. We left the second book, A Shadow Crown, on kind of a cliffhanger with our main character Kira finding out some information about her heritage, and I just can't wait to see where this next book goes. And I'm also really excited because Melissa Blair's storytelling and writing and everything has grown from one book to the next, and so I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen next. A sci-fi book that I am really excited for that's coming out this year is The Bound Worlds by Megan E. Okeefe. I read the first 2 books in this series last year and I really, really love them, and I'm very excited to be back in this world. I think that this is probably going to be a trilogy, but it could be more. It hasn't been officially stated, but I feel like it's a trilogy. And in this world, we pick back up with Nyra and Tarquin. They have made a home together on the 7th cradle, which is like the 7th Earth-like world. Their peace is short-lived when a mysterious assailant shows up and attacks their village. The second book in this series was so intense because Nyra and Tarquin just could not catch a break the entire book. And so I'm just really excited to be back there with those characters. I really enjoy this series. I think that it's a really great sci-fi, and I think Megan does a great job at writing sci-fi that feels very sci-fi, but without making you feel dumb, because sometimes sci-fi can do that. I am very excited for the next book by Hannah Whitten, The Hemlock Queen. This comes out on April 9th, and I was able to pre-order a signed copy from Barnes & Noble. And so if Hannah Whitten is an author that you like, just know that Barnes & Noble does have an option to pre-order a signed copy from their website. But I'm very excited to see where this series is continuing. The first book was so political, court politics, scheming. The romance was a love triangle, which I did not think I would enjoy, but I'm very excited to see how that progresses. I can't wait to pick this book up. So in this book, the king is dead and Prince Bastian has ascended to the throne, and he has raised Lore to his right hand. And together they plan to cut out the rot from the heart of the sainted court and to help the people of Delair. I'm so excited, and I'm going to be doing a recap of the first book. So if you've read the first book and you don't want to reread it before the second book comes out, that will be up on my page soon. I am also incredibly excited to read Faebound by Saraa El-Arifi. This is coming out at the end of January. It's coming out on January 28th, I believe. I am super lucky. I was able to pre-order the Waterstones special edition, so that will be coming in the mail, and I also got an arc of it. I started reading it yesterday and I am really enjoying it so far. In this book, we follow 2 sisters as they are exiled from their city, from all of the elvish lands, and during their exile they encounter Fae, which were previously thought to be extinct, and so I'm just really excited about this. Saraa El-Arifi is a phenomenal writer. I read the final strife of hers and I didn't really enjoy it. I liked it enough, but not quite enough to immediately want to pick up the sequel. I can see how her writing has grown, and the world building is so good, and things have been happening, and the world building has been happening simultaneously, and it's really good. And I've heard that the romance in this is really, really great, that it's a really great fantasy romance. I'm very excited to continue reading Faebound. I am very excited for the second book, Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner, to come out. I read God Killer earlier this year and I loved it, and I am so excited for this sequel coming out on March 12th. So in this book, and spoiler for God Killer, Gywnne, our main character, our god killer, sacrificed herself in order to vanquish a god, but that might not be enough. Mara and Skedi are saddened by the death of Gywnne, but they have to continue on their quest to discover out more about their bond so that they can figure out how to separate themselves. Logast is no longer a loyal knight to King Aran and has been tasked with killing the man he once called friend. So I'm really excited to pick this up. I cannot wait for this to come out, and I think that I will also be doing a recap of God Killer, so that if you don't want to reread God Killer, you can watch that and know all of the details so that you won't feel lost when you start reading the second book. And finally, I cannot wait for Fury of the Gods by Gywnne to come out. This is supposed to be coming out in October. I'm not 100% sure if that's a UK release date or if that's a US release date. It's a little bit unclear, but I am just so excited for this. I think that this is the final book. I feel like this is a trilogy, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't wait because Hunger of the Gods left on such a big cliffhanger. I am nervous. So in Fury of the Gods, the final battle for the fate of Vigrid approaches. Varg has overcome a lot of his past and is now a full member of the Bloodsworn, but he and his newfound comrades have a huge challenge of figuring out how to slay a dragon. Before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe. It means so much to me when you subscribe. I just love it. And if you want to be notified when I upload, be sure to click the bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay.